Good morning, students. Today we are going to start with a new poem, and the name of the poem is The Last Bargain. Now, let me tell you, children, this poem is by Rabindranath Tagore. And Tagore, I think all of you must have heard the name of Rabindranath Tagore. He was an Indian writer and he belonged to Bengal. He got Nobel Prize in Literature in 1913. Born on 7th May 1861 in Calcutta, India. Died on 7th of August 1941, Calcutta, India. Residence at the time of the award, India. And because of his prize motivation, because of his profoundly sensitive, fresh and beautiful verse, by which with consummate skill he has made his poetic thought, expressed his own English words, a part of the literature of the West. He had the hold on Bengali and English. Now let us come to the works of Rabindranath Tagore. Rabindranath Tagore's writing is deeply rooted in both Indian and Western learning tradition. Apart from fiction in the form of poetry, songs, stories and dramas, it also includes portrayals of common people's life, literary criticism, philosophy and social issues. Rabindranath Tagore originally wrote in Bengali but later reached a broad audience in the West after recasting his poetry in English. In contrast to the frenzied life in the West, his poetry was felt to convey the peace of the soul in harmony with nature. Rabindranath Tagore was the youngest son of Debendranath Tagore, a leader of the Brahmo Samaj, which was a new religious sect in 19th century Bengal and which attempted a revival of the ultimate monistic basis of Hinduism as laid down in the Upanishads. He was educated at home, and although at 17 he was sent to England for formal schooling, he did not finish his studies there. In his mature years, in addition to his many-sided literary activities, he managed the family estates, a project which brought him into close touch with common humanity and increased interest in social reforms. He also started an experimental school at Shanti Niketan, where he tried his Upanishadic ideas of education. From time to time, he participated in the Indian nationalist movement, though in his own non-sentimental and visionary way, and Gandhi, the political father of modern India, was his devoted friend. Now let us talk about, as I told you, he got Nobel Prize. He was a successful, although Tagore sorry for the interruption. Tagore had early success as a writer in his native Bengal. With his translations of some of his poems, he became rapidly known in the West. In fact, his fame attained a luminous height, taking him across continents on lecture tours of friendship. For the world, he became the voice of India's spiritual heritage, and for India, especially for Bengal, he became a great living institution. Although Tagore wrote successfully in all literary genres, he was first of all a poet. Among his 50 and odd volumes of poetry are Mansi, The Idle One, Sonar Tari, The Golden Boat, Gitanjali, 1910 he wrote, collection of songs and offerings. Many more. Children, all of us very well know about his work Gitanjali. You will go through this biography which I have given here. Besides these, he wrote musical dramas, dance dramas, essays of all types, travel diaries and 2 autobiographies, one in his middle years and the other shortly before his death in 1941. Tagore also left numerous drawings, paintings and songs for which he wrote the music himself. Means he wrote the song and he gave the music on his own self. So let us start with the poem, The Last Bargain. First of all, I would like to read the text of the poem and then we will start with the explanation. So here goes the text, Last Bargain. Not first of all, let me tell you what is a bargain. A bargain is an agreement in which, please all of you open your page number 74 of the book, where the poem is on this page, your book Honeydew. A bargain is an agreement in which both parties promise to do something for each other. Someone is looking for work, waiting to be hired. He strikes a bargain but thinks it worthless. He tries twice again but doesn't like either. Finally, in the last bargain, when he is hired for nothing, whatever, he is happy as never before. What is the bargain and why is it the best? So, bargain, in simple words, if I I would like to convey to you that bargain means an agreement between the two parties to sell something even at the cheaper rate. Bargain, आपने सुना होगा, कभी हम कुछ सामान खरीदने जाते तो हम कहते हैं कि भाई बार्गेन कर लेना, बहुत महंगा देगा वो शॉप वाला, है ना. सो सौदा भी बोल सकते हैं इसको. तो आपको समझ में आ गया होगा बार्गेन का मतलब. लेट अस कम टू द text of the poem, children. First of all, I'll read the whole text and after that we'll start with the explanation. And all of you, I request to listen carefully what I am reading, because one thing I want to tell you, the way we read, it makes a lot of difference, and we have as per our reading, we are able to make out the meaning. Come and hire me, I cried, while in the morning I was walking on the stone paved road. Sword in hand, the king came in his chariot. He held my hand and said, I will hire you with my power. But his power counted for naught, and he went away in his chariot. In the heat of the midday, the houses stood with shut doors. I wandered along the crooked lane. An old man came out with his bag of gold. He pondered and said, I will hire you with my money. He weighs his coins one by one, but I turned away. It was evening. The garden hedge was all aflower. A fair maid came out and said, I will hire you with a smile. Her smile paled and melted into tears, and she went back alone into the dark. The sun glistened on the sand, and the sea waves broke waywardly. A child sat playing with shells. He raised his head and seemed to know me and said, I hire you with nothing. From henceforward, that bargain stuck in child's play made me a free man. Now, I will come to the explanation of the poem. And here goes the explanation. Now, first of all, I would like to tell you the summary in short. The summary of the poem is, the poem has a beautiful message, and the message is, the poet, he who is a champion himself, he gives the message of freedom. The poem here opens with the man who wants freedom in his life, and the man is walking on the stone paved ground in the morning, and on the way he meets the king. The king offered him the man's labor with his power. The man doesn't find much worth in the king's power, and therefore refused to be hired. Towards midday, having walked in the heat of the sun, the man came across an old man. The old man carried a bag of money. He was very wealthy. He offered to buy the man's labor with his money. The man wasn't convinced to exchange his labor for money and moved on. In the evening, as he was crossing the garden hedge, the man came across a fair maid. She offered to hire the man's service with her smile. The man couldn't find the lady's smile worth either. The lady's smile became pale, and she started crying. She didn't get the man's company either. Finally, the man reached the seashore. He saw a child playing with shells. The child made an offer too, and his offer, though was unique, he offered to buy the man's service with nothing. The man was overwhelmed with this offer, for he was still a free man. He quickly accepted the offer and the bargain was struck. Now this is the summary. Actually, here we see the three instances. The man wants freedom. He goes to the king. The king offers to buy the man's labor with his power. He says no. Then he goes to a wealthy man. The man wants to buy his labor through money. Then the man goes to comes across a lady, a fair maid, beautiful maid. He wants to buy the lady's smile, and that also the man refused. And the man saw a child on the seashore. On the seashore, he saw the child offers the man some shells, and the man was very happy. He offered to buy man's service with nothing. So man here, why he was happy? Because in spite of rendering his service, he was free. Means he wants freedom. Means वो अपना श्रम बेचना नहीं चाहता था और उसको फ्रीडम चाहिए थी, तो उसने बिना कोई एग्रीमेंट के अपना श्रम बेचना शुरू किया, मतलब वो चाहता था. Now let us come to the explanation, children. The explanation goes like this. Again I am reading the first stanza, and you see. Come and hire me, I cried, while in the morning I was walking on the stone-paved road. Sword in hand, the king came to his chariot. Come and hire me, मतलब कोई मुझे हायर कर लो, कोई मुझे मतलब कहीं काम दे दो मुझे. I cried while in the morning I was walking on the stone-paved road. Poet कहता है कि he cried. जब वो stone-paved road पे जा रहा था, तो उसने देखा कि एक आदमी कह रहा है कि come and hire me. तो sword in the hand, the king came to his chariot. तो उसके हाथ में, एक राजा के हाथ में sword थी, तो वो अपने रथ पे था. उसने कहा कि भाई मुझे हायर कर लो. तो उसने क्या कहा राजा ने? आई विल हायर यू विथ माई पावर. मैं अपनी शक्ति से तुम्हें हायर करता हूँ. बट हिज पावर काउंटेड फॉर नॉट. पावर काउंटेड फॉर नॉट मीन्स उसने उसकी पावर की कोई वैल्यू नहीं की, कोई मूल्य नहीं किया. एंड ही वेंट अवे इन हिज चैरियट. वो अपने चैरियट में चला गया. नाउ लेट मी टेल यू द पोएम हियर. द मैन opens with a man crying in the morning to be hired by someone. आपने देखा होगा मॉर्निंग में बहुत सारे मजदूर एक जगह इकट्ठे रहते हैं. आप यहाँ भी आपने देखा होगा. and those who want some to hire some person for the whole day, they request that person and they hire that person. While he was walking on the stone paved road looking for someone to hire his services, he came across the king who was coming in his chariot. The king immediately took the man's hand in his hand and offered to buy his services with his power. The man didn't find much worth in the offer. He didn't want to get suppressed under a mighty man's power and therefore moved on. वो चला गया. वो किसी के अधीन, किसी पावरफुल के अधीन काम करना नहीं चाहता था. नेक्स्ट स्टेंजा हम देखें. मैं सोचती हूँ कि सभी बच्चों को समझ में आ गया होगा. फर्स्ट स्टेंजा काउंटेड फॉर नॉट मीन्स लिख लीजिए, मीन्स हैव नो वैल्यू एट ऑल. नेक्स्ट स्टेंजा. In the heat of the midday, the houses stood with shut doors. I wandered along the crooked lanes. An old man came out with his bag of gold. He pondered and said, I will hire you with my money. He weighed his coins one by one, but I turned away. Now here the poet in this line shows that money too fails to buy the services of man. The man kept walking, and it was the very hot day. It was the midday. He came across the houses with doors that were shut, and wandering along the crooked lane, he came across an old man who was holding a bag full of gold. The old man offered to pay the man with his gold in return for his services. The offer of wealth didn't attract the man, so he turned away. Children, I hope. Again I am telling you, please write the meaning of the word pondered thinking. Pondered means thinking carefully. Here we have completed the 2 stanza. I hope children you have understood. And if you have any problem, if any doubt, you can ask. Thank you.